Hello everyone, welcome to our art gallery tour. My name is Dexter. I am your guide for today's journey into the captivating world of art history. As we embark on this adventure, we will observe a vast array of artwork spanning centuries, each piece showing the creativity and technology of its time. As we wander through, what do you think we might come across? Perhaps classical statues from ancient Rome, delicate Chinese porcelain vases, or even contemporary works like self-portrait photographs or video art. Amongst this mix of art forms, however, it is painting that is found most often. Each painting can be a window into different times and cultures. So, today we are going to focus on paintings from the continent that I am from, which is, yes, I am from Europe. So, on today's visit to the art gallery, we will be looking at paintings that have been created by people from Europe. Now, entering an art gallery can sometimes feel daunting. What if I don't understand the painting? What if I don't like the paintings? What if someone asks me what I think? However, with a basic understanding of European painting history, we can approach these artworks with confidence and curiosity, feeling more comfortable discussing our thoughts and feelings about art. Today, on our tour, we will look at paintings from the last 1,000 years of European art and observe key changes in subject, technique, and composition, observing changes in what we paint and how we paint it. So, let's begin our tour. Our journey begins over 1,000 years ago in the medieval period. These paintings were created between the 7th and the 14th century, a long period of European history following the collapse of the Roman Empire. In this period, we can observe the major spread of Christianity throughout Europe, as well as the increasing power of the Catholic Church. As such, in medieval Europe, painting served a definite religious purpose. Paintings were mostly found in Christian religious buildings, such as churches, cathedrals, and monasteries. Hence, the subjects of these artworks were mostly Christian religious figures like Jesus Christ, Mary, and angels. The paintings were done to inspire devotion and thought in its observers. Medieval artists developed innovative techniques to create bold, vibrant colours. Painters applied tempera paint to their works, using natural pigments mixed with egg yolk to achieve a rich, strong colour. Additionally, artists used gold leaf in their work to create a glow around their religious icons. Mosaics across Europe still shine hundreds of years after their construction. Medieval painters often employed a vertical perspective when composing their works. This means prioritizing the importance of religious figures and symbolic elements over realistic spatial relationships. Figures were depicted as larger to emphasize their significance, and scenes were rendered in a flattened, two-dimensional manner. For this reason, the composition may look very strange to our modern eyes. Let's observe The Last Supper by Ugolino da Siena. Notice how Jesus towers over the other figures, and the composition lacks depth. This vertical perspective emphasizes the spiritual significance and magical quality of the scene. It is not necessarily a bad painting, just an example of how our approach to composition has changed over time. We can then walk into the next room of the gallery. We are now in the Renaissance period, spanning from the 14th century to the 17th century. Here we will witness a remarkable evolution in European painting, marked by an interest in classical ideals and humanistic values. Unlike the religious focus of medieval art, Renaissance paintings embraced a broader range of subjects, including classical scenes of ancient civilization and detailed portraits. This classical influence is evident in works such as Raphael's The School of Athens, where the composition and architecture reflect the grandeur of classical philosophy. Also, portraiture flourished during this period. This reflects a growing interest in individuality and understanding human expression. Artists across Europe, such as Titian and Hans Holbein, captured the nuanced emotions and personalities of their subjects with remarkable skill. Renaissance artists also pioneered techniques when seeking realism in their painting. For example, the technique of sfumato, blending tones and colours to achieve soft transitions between light and shadow. Leonardo da Vinci's The Mona Lisa perfectly exemplifies this technique, with its subtle gradations of light and shadow, creating a sense of depth and mystery. The key innovation of the Renaissance was the pursuit of realism and naturalism, achieved through the mastery of linear perspective. Artists meticulously studied mathematics and anatomy to create convincing depictions of space and proportions, as seen in Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. We can compare the medieval and Renaissance paintings of The Last Supper. Both painters have Jesus as the focal point of the painting. The medieval painter shows this through the size of the figure. On the other hand, the Renaissance painter's work is carefully composed to place Jesus at the center of the painting. As we can see, all of the perspective lines meet at his head. Through this, the painter achieves the illusion of depth. This development of linear perspective is one of the great achievements of European painting. The Renaissance marks a period of artistic innovation and exploration, laying the foundation for centuries of European painting to come. The Renaissance ideals of balanced, beautiful compositions and masterful technique can be observed in paintings from the Baroque, Neoclassical, and Romantic periods. Now, let's move on to the next room. These paintings were done in the 19th century by a group of French artists who revolutionized the art world with their unconventional approach. Moving away from the Renaissance principles of detail and balance, some painters began working in a very different style. Impressionism sees a new approach to subject, technique, and composition, changing the course of European painting. Impressionist painters departed from the aristocratic, religious, or classical subjects of academic painting, instead working to capture everyday scenes and fleeting moments of modern life. Their artworks celebrated the play of light and colour, offering glimpses into the beauty of ordinary life as seen in the work of Claude Monet. Impressionist painters embraced a vibrant and varied colour palette, utilising short, thick strokes of paint to convey the essence of their subject, rather than intricate details. Colours were applied side by side with minimal mixing. This technique maintains the vibrancy of the paint. Impressionist compositions were dynamic and spontaneous, often featuring unconventional perspectives and non-symmetrical arrangements. These artworks aim to evoke the artist's subjective experience of the world, rather than adhering to rigid conventions of representation. Vincent van Gogh's The Night Cafe exemplifies this approach. With its bold colours, expressive brushstrokes, and disoriented perspective, there is an emotional charge that Van Gogh gives to the scene. The ideas of Impressionism were very important for the development of painting in Europe in the 20th century. Artists such as Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque ventured into new territories which fragmented forms and challenged traditional perspectives. Artists rejected the traditional rules of balance and symmetry, instead trying to experiment with abstraction and surrealism. So, understanding a small piece of art history allows us to greater appreciate the techniques of painting. With this, we can move to our first activity. Let's take out the worksheets and cut out the small art pieces. In front of you, you have images of famous European paintings. Your task is to look at each painting and place the painting under the correct time period on the next worksheet. Try and create a timeline of when you think these paintings were completed. Let's do one together. Can you tell me which period or style this painting belongs to? Is it A, medieval, B, Renaissance, or C, Impressionism? The answer is B, Renaissance. We can tell from the level of detail in the painting, its careful approach to composing the face and use of natural shadow. Now, working in pairs, let's try and place these paintings onto the correct period. Time's up! Let's have a look at the paintings we have found in the gallery. We have 3 paintings from the medieval period. We have these 2 medieval paintings of Jesus and Mary, and this painting of 2 angels. Notice the bold colour, religious figures, and gold leaf. From the Renaissance period, we have the delivery of the keys to St. Peter. Observe the fantastic linear perspective. We also have a self-portrait by Albrecht Dürer. Look at its focus on dark shadows. And in the style of Impressionism, we have a painting by Camille Pissarro and 2 paintings by Edouard Manet, each with their bold, thick paint strokes and everyday subjects. Great job! Through an understanding of changes in subject, composition, and technique, you can identify which period a painting is from. Now we can put this in practice. You can become the artist. Each pair will choose a period or style that they will try and recreate. Using the techniques of the period and whatever art supplies you have, you will create a small art piece in that style. This can be done on paper or on a tablet. After you have created your masterpiece, please upload an image to the Padlet using this QR code. This is our digital art gallery. You can see all of the other students' paintings. You can leave comments on the subject, composition, and techniques that you used. It's time to get creative. And that will conclude our visit for today. We have seen over 1,000 years of history through these paintings and observed wonderful changes in technique and composition. Well done! Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you will be returning or visiting other art galleries soon. Goodbye!